Charlie, it is Larkin. Now we'll never know what he wanted to tell us.
Even in death, Mr. Larkin, tell us what murderer do not wish police to know.
Any chance of seeing her? Very clean.
So the Shanghai Cobra is another Charlie Chan film in the seemingly never-ending series, this time starring Sidney Toler. And this time he gets a telegram from his friend, the chief of police in Washington, D.C., to come and help him solve this suspicious deaths at this bank. So he comes over from Shanghai to help. And he kind of traces these deaths to this cafe. They were all killed by Cobra venom, which is very odd. But they're all linked to this cafe, which has this kind of really special jukebox, which is really odd, way above ahead of its time, with a video link and a woman's voice behind it. It's very odd. But basically, the bank is special that these people worked in because it's holding this government supply of some nuclear material. I can't remember what it's called, radium or something like that. I'm not sure. So it's a kind of an overly plotted film, this, really, and the story doesn't really meditate. The story's kind of boring here. It's not really a great story. There's no real mystery for Chan to get his teeth into. There's no real clues that he finds along the way, and it's a kind of a plodding, really, kind of story. And the sets are all too kind of, location work is all too similar inside the bank and buildings. It doesn't really go anywhere other than that. And you got too much of number 3 son Tommy and his sidekick Birmingham here, who are obviously in the film for comedic relief, but they kind of are a bit tiresome after a while. There's too much of them, and it's kind of stupid what they get up to, really. A lot of the time, it's just not really entertaining. It's just kind of boring, really. And Charlie is kind of, he's okay, Sidney Toler. He's coasting in this film, really. He doesn't have a great script, doesn't have a lot of good laughs or good lines to liven things up, really. Yeah, it's kind of a lackluster effort, this, really. It's kind of like a very easygoing kind of coasting kind of effort, I would say. It doesn't really stand out in any shape or form for any reason. It's watchable, but it does get, last 15 minutes, it gets pretty tiresome after a while, and you kind of know it's kind of a bit off, this film, because they even bury Charlie Chan in a kind of pile of rubble in a sewer at one stage. And I thought, that's a bit demeaning for the great detective. But it's an okay watch for an hour, so it's not very demanding, it's not very memorable, but it's just about watchable, I would say. I would give it maybe a 5.8 out of 10 score, maybe just slightly below average, I would say. That's Shanghai Cobra from 1945.